Video lecture, and here in this lecture I am going to talk about Lorentz transformations. So the idea of Lorentz transformation, or the need of Lorentz transformation, is to modify Galilean transformations. And another motivation to do these are the negative results of Michelson-Morley experiment, as I talked about earlier. So Lorentz started with the Galilean transformation, and if a particle is moving along x-axis, not a particle, if a frame of reference, moving frame of reference is moving along x-axis with certain velocity v in this direction along x-axis, then a particle at this position from one frame of reference to the another frame of reference its coordinates will be in one frame of reference, and there is another frame of reference s prime. So in s frame of reference, its coordinates are x, y, and z, and in another frame of reference, x prime, y prime, and z prime are the coordinates. And there is another coordinate, that is the fourth coordinate. The time is also relating to this. The t time is relating to this, and t prime is relating to this. So according to Galilean transformation, it is x-axis, it is x prime axis, it is y prime, and it is y, it is z, and this is z prime axis. So according to Galilean transformation, the coordinates of this observation point from two different frames will be related as x prime is equal to x minus bt, y prime is equal to y, and z prime is equal to z, and t prime is equal to t. And if I take derivative on both sides, then for velocity we can say that vx prime must be equal to vx minus v, and vy prime must be equal to vy, and vz prime must be equal to vz. Thus we see that from this equation, means if we are observing the light coming from a source and its velocity will be c, so that means in moving frame reference, according to Galilean transformation, it seems to be c prime, and c is the rest frame of reference, and v is this one. So that means the conclusion from this is that c is not constant in all frames, in all frame of references, is the conclusion which we are drawing from the Galilean transformations. Now what Lorentz did, he introduced some constant here, and this leads to modification of these equations. I am not going into the derivation of Lorentz transformation. This is beyond the scope of this course. But let me start with this Galilean transformation. So what Lorentz did, he incorporated a constant k here, and this smart idea leads to modification of all the Galilean transformation equations to new set of equations, and the new equations are known as Lorentz transformation equations. So using this idea, Lorentz got the following equations, that x prime must be equal to x minus bt over 1 minus b square over c square. Thus, this k comes out to be equal to 1 over 1 minus b square over c square. That's the constant. And this does not affect the motion along y and the z if motion is along x-axis of the moving frame, but it will affect the time. So what was the time equation? I'm just writing that equation directly. So the time in the moving frame of reference will also be written as t minus v x c square upon 1 minus v square over c square under the root. So this is one set of equation, and these are known as Lorentz transformation. And similarly, we will obtain the inverse Lorentz transformations. Inverse Lorentz transformation. This x is equal to x prime plus v prime t 1 minus v square upon c square under the root, and this y is equal to y prime, z is equal to z prime, and t must be equal to t prime plus v x prime over c square divided by 1 minus v square over c square under the root. Right, so these are the inverse Lorentz transformations. And using these Lorentz transformations, we can prove that Vx prime must be equal to c. This can be proved. Using Lorentz transformations. And this is the main advantage, that we are able to prove that velocity of light will remain constant irrespective of the motion of the various frames. Right? So that means speed of light remains constant in all frame of reference is under Lorentz transformation. So this is the one thing which we are getting. This is the one consequence of, there is another consequence of this loss of simultaneity. It's also another consequence of Lorentz transformation. And next consequence is the time dilation and length contraction. And another consequence on the effect on mass. That mass is not constant. These are some consequences of this what we call Lorentz transformations. So these are the consequences of Lorentz transformation. On the other hand, Einstein was also trying to answer the questions of Maxwell equations and failure of Michelson-Morley experiment. And he was thinking in a different manner. So in the next lecture, I will talk about the special theory of relativity as talked about Einstein. So thanks for watching this lecture.